Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to the rest of you if you're celebrating your night. But anyway, here we are once again. Thank God it's Friday. We say TGIF. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Coffee Hour, and we're going to be with you for a whole hour. We thank you so much for being along. We get together each week at this time for a little coffee and a little talk and a little fun. And of course, a whole full hour with you and me and all of us together. And we want you involved with us. We thank all of you people. We are so grateful for people who have been around with us this whole time, ever since we began this show many moons ago. And we want to welcome to possible newcomers who are here, who are watching. If you're just tuning in, thank you so much for being with us. Let me tell you what we're all about. First of all, I am the host of this show, The Coffee Hour, and I am going to be with you, right? And in that hour, we're going to get you involved in the show. How we do that? Okay, all you have to do is use your computer, your phone, or your tablet. It has a keyboard, type it in, and you can get involved right away. You could say whatever you like to say. You could say hi, or if there's something that you want to talk about in particular, right? In particular, we like you to do the same thing. And you can talk by just using your fingers, and I'll see you right there on the big screen. And of course, we'll entertain your thoughts and ideas. And if you have any particular topic that you want to discuss here on the show, feel free, and we'll try to entertain that before the hour is over. So as you being a newcomer, we bring you into our program this way, and you can meet everybody you want to, because everybody who comes in a room, you can talk to them as well as talk to me. And that's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. We're coming from three different places. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Now, last night, when we did Talk Back Live, we weren't broadcasting on Instagram because we had a technical problem, but we straightened it out, and we are here on Instagram today, so that's good news. So those three places, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And if you're watching us on Facebook, what we want you to do is to take the time right now is to tag this show to your friends. You have a lot of friends on your Facebook page, on your account. We want you to tag some of them, maybe not all of them, as many as you can or as many as you will, because the more the merrier. And when you tag them, they'll see that notification right there. They'll know it's from you, right? They'll trust you, and they'll click onto that tag, and it'll bring them right to us, and they can get involved in the show just like you. Just as simple as that, you know? So do that right away. We really would appreciate it as many as possible. And for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, as I always do, I always encourage you to go onto the YouTube channel. You're there right now, and click on to where it says subscribe, right? You take your mouse, point the arrow where it says subscribe, and click it. Give it that one click, and that will make you an instant right there. No charge, no money, nothing involved. Just a click, just one little click, painless, and you're right there. And the purpose of all of that is to, whenever you see us on live, and you'll see us on live, even if you're not there, right? Because a notification will pop up whenever we come on live, or if we so much as post a video of some sort, it'll come right up, and all you have to do is click onto that notification, and it'll bring you right there. Because let's face it, a lot of you may forget that the show comes on at this time. And since now that you have clicked on to subscribe, that gives you the opportunity to know when we'll come on, even if you're online doing something else and you forget about the show. The reminder comes right up, and all you have to do is click onto that, and it brings you right to the YouTube channel, and you don't have to miss the show at all. Simple as that. So do that right away. Click on, right? For the rest of you who are watching, okay, Instagram, you're back. We weren't here last night, but we're back tonight. We had a technical problem last night, and we couldn't do that, but we're back today, and we're so glad to have you along with us. So we want to say hi to Facebookers, YouTubers, and Instagrammers, for lack of a better term. Thank you so much for being along with us. Okay, now, in conjunction with all of that, we got all of that out of the way. this particular hour, and we do our regular routine, we got sports coming up. In this particular half hour, not too long from now, sports is coming up, and we usually do it with Brian Camp, comes out of Charlotte, North Carolina. We link up with him. You'll see him on the screen. However, he won't be here today, but he was diligent enough and kind enough to send the information to us. So we'll take care of all of that when sports time comes around. So we look forward to that. And also later on in the program, before it's all over, as I always do, I have my picks of the week of movies that you may want to catch up with, old movies that you want to catch up with for the weekend. And they all come from Turner Classic Movies. I have my picks added to your collection of movies that you want to watch. And we'll have all of that coming this coming hour, right? All this hour, everything's happening this hour. It's a 1 hour show. And we're so glad that you're able to be with us. Remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on the show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or any social media or broadcast outlet. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, let's do what we always do as we get started. Lift our cups, our glasses, whatever you have. And, besides, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. Oh, that's delicious. That's great. That's great. Nothing like a great cup of coffee, that first jolt of the day. Actually, it's my second. I had one earlier. And that's something I don't usually do. I usually limit myself to 1 cup a day, as opposed to the old days when I used to do 5 cups a day and a few cigarettes. But that was such a long time ago. But anyway, thank you so much for being along with us. We have so much to talk about. We're going to be talking about, like I said, sports is coming up. We're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about as well. And we're going to get the show rolling. So there you go. Do you know that this weekend, although it's not a legal holiday, it's not a federal holiday or anything like that, but this Monday coming up, celebrating Columbus Day. That was on your calendar in case you missed it. It's Columbus Day. Now, Columbus Day is a big festive day, particularly here in New York, because we have the big parades coming around, and there will be a Columbus Day parade coming along. And up and down Fifth Avenue, people will be walking and passing through and watching the parade. But it goes down Fifth Avenue from, it's always from uptown to downtown, and so you'll be part of that. You'll see that. That's coming up. I don't know if they'll televise it. I'm not sure. And I do not know whether or not that you celebrate in that fashion as well. We're a big city, so we have a parade for anything. Anything you can name, we have a parade for that. Also, in conjunction with Columbus Day, and here's something new that I discovered only just like 2 years ago. It's finally coming out. It's always been that way, but it's now coming out. Things change, we advance, we move on. We also celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day along with Columbus Day. So you have 2 things. Now, I don't know, there's not a parade for that, at least not yet. And so we'll have to see whether or not we get a parade for that. But each Columbus Day, at the same day, it's always Indigenous People Day. So you have 2 celebrations to do, and it's all on Monday. And if you have the fortune enough to take off that day and go to Fifth Avenue and watch the Columbus Day Parade, or maybe you have a little break that you can get out of the office for a while and walk over to Fifth Avenue, you can do that, but it's not a holiday. So I just want to make that perfectly clear. Perfectly clear. It's not a holiday, but it is Columbus and Indigenous People Day. So enjoy it. I got to tell you about the flu. This is the season for it. This is the flu season now. Everybody knows that. I keep talking about it. I couldn't stress it enough. And along with that, you already know that you should be taking your flu shots. Now, they're available. If you go to your favorite pharmacist, right? I always incline to say famous, but favorite. If you go to your favorite pharmacist, right, you can get that flu shot. And for the most part, it's for free. I don't know if it has anything to do with insurance. I know I get mine for free. It's a free thing that they do. And so anyway, you just go and take it. Now, some people have already taken it. Some people have not taken it just yet. I took mine last Wednesday, last Wednesday of last week. Well, actually, it was 2 weeks ago. I took that. And some places you have to make an appointment. Other places you could just walk right in. It depends on where you are. Over here where I am, we have to make an appointment. We used to be able to walk into the pharmacist and say, I just want to pop in the arm so I can get out of here, right? Now you have to make an appointment here. And again, it may happen in your area, or maybe you can just walk right into your pharmacist and say, I just want the shot and be finished with it, right? Doesn't take that long. It doesn't hurt it either. And so, so I took my shot and I'm all set, and you can take yours too. So do that. Also, speaking of vaccines, you have the new updated COVID vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine that's out. It's available now too. They ran out in some places, but it's back. Everything is back. I haven't heard any more issues about that, whether, they ran out. So it's back. And you can take that too. As a matter of fact, I'm told that you could take 2 vaccines at the same time, the same day. And so if you desire to do that, you can do that to get it out of the way if you want to get it out of the way, or you can do like me. You can take your flu shots and then maybe about a week or 2 later, come up with the COVID. Now, I waited for 2 weeks. So I took my COVID shot just this past Wednesday. So I'm all set. You see, now I wouldn't tell you to do this if I didn't do it. Why should I, right? So I have done it. I've taken my flu shot and I've taken my COVID shot. So I am set and ready to go. And we want you to do the same thing because we want you to stay healthy and strong. And a lot of you who have not taken the shots at all, period, not at all, hope you find it in your mind to do that and take this. This is a very important one. So take it. Now, I don't know if within time to come, whether it's going to be seasonal like the flu shots, because this, let's face it, this COVID thing is not over yet. And there's people that's going into the hospital. But for the lucky thing is that the people who have taken the shots have been proactive and stayed update on their flu shots and their COVID shots. If they wind up in a hospital, they don't stay there that long. It's a big chance that you will not get that sick and you will escape death and all of that, So we advise you to do that. And for those of you who have said in the past, well, I don't want to take the shot. It doesn't mean anything. I already had COVID already, so I'm immune. But remember that if you're immune, if you had COVID, and some people had it once and 2 times and 3 times, and then some people who develop COVID have this long-term illness of COVID, but if you had the COVID virus, your immune system is only temporary. It's only temporary, right? Because they say, yeah, sure, I had the virus, but so I don't need to take the shot. I'm immune. I wouldn't go that route if I were you. I would take the shot. And some people are still didn't find it in their hearts and their minds to actually take the shot because they don't believe in it. And some people don't take shots for various reasons, maybe because it's against their religion, or maybe it's I don't know, maybe they're immune, they're shots, they take shots, they're allergic to shots or whatever it is, but there are other alternatives that you can do, not taking the shots. So please take that shot, take the shot. If you haven't taken it yet, take it, or you want to wait for a couple of weeks or whatever, but take it because spikes are coming in and people are going back to their mask. Now, in a lot of places, it's not mandatory to wear the mask just yet. I remember when public transportation, airports, it was mandatory to wear the mask. But people are still wearing their mask. And I noticed that walking down New York City, jumping on mass transit and riding the bus, people are wearing their mask. and I'm not angry with them. If that's what you want to do, you do it. And some people don't, but it's not mandatory to wear the mask. But if you would like to, but people are going back to it in certain public places, they may ask you to do that. So carry it along with you, in your pocket. If you don't want to wear it out on the street or any place else, keep it in your pocket just in case you go to a restaurant and say, hey, bro, we need you to put on your mask right now. I don't see that right now happening. Like I said, it's not mandatory to do it, but they may ask you to do it, but whatever. But just keep it in your pocket. It doesn't hurt. And one other thing, too, about the COVID shot, just want to make an announcement on that. I reported to you earlier that the shots may not be covered by your health insurance company. Okay, so we looked into that further, and it even was on the news saying that, yeah, they heard about that, but it's not true. And I think most, if not all, insurance companies are covering the COVID shot. But the best thing to do is to check with your medical insurance company and find out what they say, just to make sure, because you don't want to have to go in there after making the appointment, going there and they turn you away, saying, well, something, your insurance is not covering this, and the price of this shot is between $100 and $200. Now, there's no price on health, but I'm pretty sure you don't want to take $100 and $200 out of your pocket when you could use that for something else, right? So check with your pharmacist, and I'm pretty sure your pharmacist and your insurance company, and I'm pretty sure your insurance company at this particular point will tell you, okay, we will cover that, because I know my insurance company at one point, I called them and they said they weren't covering it. And I said, okay. And then when I turned on the news and I found out that that was all straightened out by the particular parties. And then I called my insurance company again, and they just gave me the news that, yeah, we cover that for you. And so they did. So, but the most important thing, like there's no price on health, on good health, there's no price on it. So, take it any way you can. And if you can't take shots, find out from your physician, your primary doctor, find out what else can you do without taking the shot. What other alternatives do you have other than taking the shot? Because I'm allergic to shots. Find out. There's always an alternative somewhere. Anyway, thank you so much for being along with us. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, it's 17 minutes past the hour right now, and you are tuned to the coffee hour. And we're going to be with you for the whole entire hour. And we hope that you be along with us. We want to say hi to all of you guys who have been with us and guys who are just joining us for this Friday. And it is Friday. The weekend is coming up. How do you like that? We got a weekend coming up, and you're looking forward to it. Summer is over. And so people are doing what they're doing at this particular time, right? They're dusting off, they're taking out all of those clothes. They had a closet full of mothballs in their closet, so just to keep things in shape with their wardrobe and their coats and their minks and whatever, furry coats that you have. But you're getting ready to dust all of those things off and getting ready for the cold weather, because that's coming up. Unless, of course, you're on the other side of the world, because when we get winter, they get summer over there on the other side of the world. So you're getting ready to dust those things off, get ready, and before you know it, the weather will get a little colder. Now, gear up for it, because we don't know what's going to happen. It's hard to tell how this weather is going to be. It's really hard to tell how this weather is going to be. But you'll deal with it. You'll deal with it. We didn't have a stable summer here in New York, and who knows what's going to happen in the weather. Okay, for those of you who are going to indulge in conversation with us, and we hope that you do, we look forward to talking to you. A lot of people really don't want to talk, actually don't want to talk. And if you don't want to talk, that's good. Because some people, what they like to do is sit back and watch the show. But for those of you who want to indulge in conversation, you know what I'm going to ask you to do? I am going to ask you to give me your weather forecast. Yeah. Give me your weather forecast. I like to know what's happening with that on the front because we want to compare notes. And that's not mandatory that you do that, but we ask you to do that to see what your weather is like. Now, if you're in New York City or in the vicinity of New York City, somewhere in that area, don't worry about the weather forecast. I'm going to take care of that for you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. And I hope that that your weather is pretty good wherever you are. I hope, because it's weather is changeable. So you have to dress accordingly for that. You always have to dress accordingly for the weather. Right now, here in New York, this is New York weather. Okay, I'm doing my part here. This is New York weather. We have 69 degrees presently. We have 69 degrees outside, and the weather forecast is not going to be that. It's not going to be a total washout, but it's another one of those kind of weather forecasts where we're going to say, wow, but it's not all clouds. And I'll prove that to you right now. As a matter of fact, let's get started right now. For today, we've got cloudy skies this morning, followed by scattered showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon. We'll have a high around 72 degrees. Winds will be southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain, it's only 60%. For tonight, Friday night, it'll be thunderstorms likely, low around 65 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. Chance of rain will be 80%, so the percentage goes up. For Saturday, well, here we go again. Thunderstorms in the morning, then cloudy with rain likely in the afternoon, high 69 degrees, south-southeast winds shifting to west-northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour, chance of rain up 80%. And for Saturday night, it gets a little better, partly cloudy, slight chance of rain, showers. Take the umbrella, tote it with you if you're going out anywhere. And we'll have a low around 51 degrees. Winds will be west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And Sunday is the better part of this whole weekend in New York. We got sunshine and some clouds, though. We'll have a high 61 degrees, but no rain in the forecast. Winds will be west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And you see, it's been 4 straight Saturdays in New York since we had rain. We haven't seen rain in a month. We haven't seen the sun on a Saturday in a month. So this is the 4th straight Saturday with rain. Right now it's 69 degrees in New York City, and I hope it's better off where you are. And we would like to know. That's why we always like to know, how it goes in your area, the rain in your forecast, and the weather in your forecast, and see how it goes there. So if you're going to indulge in conversation with us and say hi, because I would love to greet you personally, please give us your weather forecast. And as always, as I always tell you, we always link up with Brian Camp because he always comes along with us with the latest developments in today's world of sports. But Brian is not here today. He's got the day off. He was off last night as well, so we covered for him, and we did our best. So we're going to cover for him today because he's always nice enough to leave, if he doesn't come in, just to leave his weather, his sports, so we can shoot it off to you. So this is what we have. Let's get started with that right away. Sports. October 5th, that was last night, yesterday, October 5th. Here's what's happening in sports on October 5th in 1908. The Chicago White Sox, the pitcher Ed Walsh, beats the Detroit Tigers 6-1, and it was his 40th victory of the season. In 1921, the first Baseball World Series radio broadcast, New York Yankees defeated the New York Giants at the Polo Grounds, and they were broadcasting for the very first time on WJZ and WGY. In 1956, Yogi Berra becomes the 4th New York Yankee to hit the World Series Grand Slam home run game in Game 2 at Edwards Field. In 1994, the NBA shortens the three-point distance to 22 feet, an attempt to help offensive players score more. In 2001, Barry Bonds hits his 71st and 72nd home run to break Mark McGwire's single season home run record. In 2001, in Major League Baseball at the Atlanta Braves, becomes the first pro sports team to win 10 straight division titles. In 2004, seven-time All-Star and six-time NBA champion Scottie Pippen announces his retirement from the NBA and the Chicago Bulls. Now, birthdays that happened on that day, October 5th, in 1902, Ray Kroc, who was a fast food entrepreneur for McDonald's and the owner of the San Diego Padres, was born in Oakland Park, Illinois in 1937. Barry Switzer, NCAA and NFL coach, who was born in Crosset, Arkansas. In 1972, Grant Hill from the NBA forward. He was an NBA forward born in Dallas, Texas. In 1989, Travis Kelce. He's a NFL tight end. He was born in Westlake, Ohio. And birthdays on this day, October 6th, 1926, Babe Ruth becomes the, well, not birthdays, but this is what happened on that day, on this day. 1926, Babe Ruth becomes the first major league player to hit three home runs in the World Series. In 1966, the Orioles, the Baltimore Orioles, Jim Palmer, at the age of 20 years old, is the youngest to record a World Series shutout. And he beats the Los Angeles Dodgers 6-1 or 6-0 in a game, game two. In 1983, the New York Jets announces they're leaving Shea Stadium for the Meadowlands. In 1985, the New York Yankees pitcher and knuckleballer Phil Niekro becomes the 18th pitcher to win 300 games. In 1991, the Baltimore Orioles' last game at the Memorial Stadium. In 1993, after 9 seasons and 3 championships with the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan announces his retirement, only to return on March 18th, 1995, and win another 3 championships. And birthdays that happen on this day, right? It's the 6th. In 1942, Jerry Grody, a catcher he played for the Mets. He was a catcher for 16 seasons. He was born in San Antonio, Texas. And in 1955, Tony Dungy, NFL coach, was born in Jackson, Mississippi. And that's it for sports, except to say that we want to add a few things on there. Just this one thing that we want to mention, that the Major League Baseball teams, the wild card playoffs, are on. So please, if you want to enjoy those games, check out your local time and your local station where these games will be playing. And, you know, we're wrapping up the baseball season now. We're actually doing that. We're wrapping up the baseball season. Why? Because it's over. It's October now, and we're waiting for the World Series to come around. But a lot of people are putting emphasis right now on all of the football games that are coming on. And there's a lot of football games that will be coming on. We got a new season of football coming on. And of course, when the weekend comes around, you got Saturday and Sunday. There are a lot of great NFL games coming on, plus college games. If you like college games, a lot of people do. I particularly really not big on college games. I mean, I'll watch them once in a while, but I'm not really big on them. But you want to watch some of those college games that come on, they'll be on all weekend long. And you have to check your local time and stations where you can find these games. And of course, the NFL games on Saturdays and Sundays as well. Check them all. I don't have any particular games. I didn't get information on what's happening this weekend or who's playing, but all you have to do is go online, Google it, and find out your favorite team and if they're playing this weekend. And good luck to you. Good luck to you. Those of you who are just joining us, it's the coffee hour. And we're going to be here for the entire hour, to the top of the hour. And as I always say, raise your cups. Excuse me, guys, while I shoot up. Oh, boy. That's the greatest. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I got to mention to you, and we were spared, you already know it by now. I mean, we were spared the government shutdown. We already spared that, right? You already know about that. Now, that happened. A government shutdown was about to take place. It was about to take place Saturday midnight. And you heard about it. And hours before it took place, they had an opportunity to say, okay, it's over. We don't have to do anything right now. We're not shutting down the government. But this is only temporary. And what I mean by that is that until that time comes, which the new calendar date is November 17th. And at November 17th, I believe it's November 17th. You know, that's the word I got. And I don't want to, actually say that's the actual date. I'm just saying that that's the word I got. But let's assume that it's the 17th and the calendar date is 17th. Well, that's the day when the government will shut down. I would imagine it will be midnight of that day. Okay. So we're facing another government shutdown. We dodged a bullet this time around, but who knows until they get things going. Now, this is a difficult thing to talk about here because no one wants to shut down. But here's the deal, and I wanted to get into this. I'll get into it more later too, but just to be clear on this, is that the House Speaker, we have none. We have no House Speaker at this time. So everything is frozen. The House is frozen. They can't do any business. They can't do anything at this particular time. They can't do anything at this particular time because of the fact that they ousted the House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy. All right. And we're going to talk more about that later. But in the meantime, we did bite the bullet of the government shutdown. So we'll talk more about that later on in the program, and we'll see what we have to do. As I said earlier, we have those movies that you guys like, those Turner Classic movies that are all coming in, and I have those for you, and you'll get a chance to know what's coming on this week in terms of that. And of course, that would be add to your bucket list of movies on what to watch this weekend. You know, you want to watch some old movies. You want to stay home, no matter the weather. The weather could be good or bad, no matter the weather. You want to stay home a little bit and watch those old movies. Well, I'm going to add a few to your bucket list, and that's going to happen later on, coming on this show. Stay tuned for that. Did you ever, we all like to be entertained. We all like to be entertained. And I usually get my dose of entertainment. They always say, if you can get one good laugh a day, that covers everything. That's good for the health. If you can get one good laugh a day, it's very good. All right. And sometimes you may have to surround yourself by people who make you laugh. You have some friends that are really funny, that'll make you laugh. And sometimes those days you can't get out, but you need some laughter. Well, here's something that I want you to do. Those of you who love a good laugh, go on to YouTube. I think it's YouTube, and you could see them also on Facebook and Instagram. You ever see these comical videos? And there's this one that I really like, and I really get a kick out of it. It's one of the best things of all time. I really get a kick out of it. It's called The Bushman. You ever see those videos? This guy's dressed up as a tree, as a bush, a full bush, right? And he'll be out in the street and he'll stand there. And sometimes he'll stand there full length. And as some people pass by, he reaches out to them and frightens them, right? And sometimes he'll sit in a flower pot. He looks more authentic when he sits in a flower pot. And it looks just like a real bush. And as soon as someone comes by, he'll just jump up and frightens them. It's hysterical. I get a kick out of these videos. And sometimes it's not always the Bushman. Sometimes he will dress up as the the Grim Reaper or something like that, or some frightening little costume that he'll wear and frighten people, and they get a kick out of it. It scares them, and that's how I get my laugh sometimes. Sometimes if I don't get a chance to get out of the house, and that's what I did before I came on the air today. I said, you know something, I'm going to jump on the computer just for a few minutes and watch some of these videos. And some of these videos, by the way, are certainly entertaining. However, entertainment is good. However, some of it can get people in a lot of trouble. All right. And there's another video that I get a kick out of. Some of these guys, they go around pranking people, right? Now, it's one thing to hide as a bush and then scare people. That's kind of like a mild prank. But there are some pranks that I have seen when some of the guys would come up to another guy, says, "You want some of this? You want some of this?" You know, and they pockets, they may have a pack of candy or something, and then that's their prank. But not everybody is good with pranks like that, you know. And even though I enjoy some of it, I look at it and say, why aren't these guys ever shot? You know, because a lot of people, and a lot of these guys were at gunpoint, you know, because I've seen guys, they pull out their guns and they get ready to, you know, they don't fire them, but, you know, they come that close, you know. And then there's those other videos. You ever see those other videos, which I kind of despise? They try to make a point, but they not, I don't know, I guess you have to watch them. These auditors, right? These video auditors, right? They go in these different companies and they film. And although they do have the right to be in public places and film in public places like the rest of us do, we all have the right to film in public places. But they go in to these offices like the post office and they film, and the people, they come out and they kick them out, they throw them out. You're not allowed to film in there. And then they do make their point. Yeah, we do have a right to film in here, and they do explain to them and make their point. But I'm not really knocked out by it because the more that I see these videos on hand, even though I think they're trying to gain their clientele or their viewers or what have you, their followers or what have you, and they just keep doing that. But I kind of get wiped out with it. And I think to myself, you know something, there's a way to do it. You can do it in a way, because I've seen some of the guys, they go and they make their point. Yes, I can do this. I have the right to be here. I can do this, and I'll tell you why. And they'll explain it. But when you get to the point where you start cursing at people, right? Just because they tell you, well, you have to leave this place. You can't be here. And they start cursing at people. They even curse at cops, you know. And I've seen come to a policeman's defense. If they come up and ask you, you know, why are you here? And you could say, well, I don't have to explain that to you. I understand that. But when they say something like, I don't have to explain to you, a-hole, or what the F are you doing here? Get out of my face. You know, you're working for me. That's my uniform you're wearing. Now you're getting out of line. You're basically getting out of line. You know, although they say, you know, you have freedom of speech, you can say those things, but you know something, if you go out there, and a lot of them do, they go out there and pose as journalists, you know, as media journalists. They go and they pose themselves at that. And, you know, and since they do that, quite naturally, the people want to say, let me see your ID. Let me see your credentials. You don't have credentials to say that you're a journalist. Not everybody's a journalist. You know, I think the word for that is voyeurs. When you go out and you go out on the street and you go to these buildings and you want to collect the story, you're not really a journalist. You're a voyeur. That's what you are. But they pose themselves as journalists. But you are a voyeur. You know, there's a big difference between a journalist and a voyeur. You know, so you can't go in there and say, yes, I'm a journalist. Where are you from? Oh, I can't answer that question. You know, then you're not a journalist. You know, Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Frank Allan Productions. I'm a journalist. I'm from Frank Allan Productions. And here's my and most people, legitimate journalists and news people, they wear their tags around their neck. And it's basically out of courtesy, because there are some places that are restricted where the media can't go. It's just like sometimes they can't go into a courtroom if the judge says we're not allowing any cameras inside this courtroom. So you're going to have to wait outside and do your reporting out there, but you cannot come in to record in the courtroom. And if anyone tried that, then that's grounds for contempt. They could lock you up. But I don't think they go that far just to bogart themselves into a courtroom just to take pictures. And sometimes the judge may say, well, you can take still shots. You can come here with your cameras, you can take still shots. For all of you people who are recording, video shots, we're not allowed to do video. We're not doing that today. And that's the judge's call when they tell you that. And so the call of the, let's say, the postman or post office, they said, well, we have a restricted area. If there's a restricted area, naturally, you won't be able to go in the restricted area. But if there's a place in that post office where it's not restricted, of course, you can film. You can film in any public building. You can film on the sidewalk, or any public building, you can do that, But I just don't get a kick out of those videos. I think the only thing they had me going for a while, saying, okay, yeah, you're right. You can film in those buildings. You can do anything you want in those buildings. You can do that as long as you're not in a restricted area. But when you start cursing at a person, like you're out in the street or something, then, you lost me. You lost me. And people have written, they say, oh yeah, good job. Keep people educated. This and that. I couldn't write anything on there because I wouldn't have anything to say nice about these people, but as long as they can be polite, there's nothing wrong with being polite to people. You want to go, if a person, let's say, for instance, you go there and you want to film, and you go into a public building where you could film, and someone comes in there and comes at you and say, what are you doing here? May I ask why you're filming here? Instead of saying, that's none of your business, or F you, a-hole, I can't buy that. You could actually say to a person, well, I'm just doing a job and I really don't have to answer your questions because I'm in a public area right now and I'd rather not talk to you about it. Diplomacy goes a long way, folks, and if you mark yourself as a journalist, you have to learn that. You're not a journalist. You're not a journalist. You're a voyeur. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. Frank Allan along with you, and we're here for the duration of the show. And we hope that you stay with us. We hope that you stay with us because we have a lot to talk about. And again, as I said earlier, we're going to give you that information about those movies that we talked about so highly, movies that I want to add to your bucket list of movies on what to watch for the weekend, because the weekend is coming up. You love that, don't you? Okay, on the entertainment front this week, actor Tom Hanks wants everyone to know that he is not involved with the AI version of himself circulating around the internet. You heard about that, right? And on Saturday, the two-time Emmy Award-winning actor warned his followers on Instagram about a promotional video for a dental plan using a computer-generated image of him. And he says, beware, there's a video out there promoting some dental plan with an AI version of me I have nothing to do with. 5 months to the day after the Writers Guild of America went on strike, the late night talk shows are back on the air, and after a deal that had been reached between the WGA and the major Hollywood studios, that means monologues and virtual games and the suits are back. But all the hosts, Steve Colbert and Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, will all be hurting for guest cackling with them because the Hollywood actors are still walking the picket lines as the SAG-AFTRA strike goes on, although talks between the actors and the studios have finally begun Monday. Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner are headed to trial over child custody come next week, not only next week, but they are still battling over where the case will be placed. New York judge ruled that Tuesday that the Jonas and Turner will start trial on January 2nd, 2024. The judge also set the location as Manhattan, as it is a federal case involving international custody. Turner, who is a UK native, is pushing the pair's daughters to live in England following their split, and Jonas, meanwhile, wants the kids to live in the US. In a galaxy not far away, Star Wars fans will soon have the chance to buy the head of C-3PO when it goes under the hammer next month as part of the huge movie memorabilia auction. However, you'll need more than just the Force beside you, as the item expected to fetch up to a staggering $1.2 million. The head of one of the more than 1,800 pieces of movie and TV memorabilia that will be available at the auction, and that will be held at the prop store in London and online between November 9th and November 12th. Actor Kevin Spacey was taken to a hospital due to a heart attack concern after he felt his left arm go numb. And he revealed that he was given an MRI scan after he lost sensation in his arm for 8 seconds while attending the 15th Tashkent International Film Festivals. Spacey was taken to a medical center over the health concerns. And a source said that the actor was eventually given the all okay, so it's okay, and adding, he was treated professionally by doctors and staff and found no problem with his heart. So that's good news. Congratulations, Kevin Spacey. And that's it for the entertainment news. And birthdays we celebrate too. We have birthdays celebrating today. Birthdays today, actress, singer Amy Jo Johnson. If you remember Amy Jo Johnson played in it wasn't a sitcom, it was a series called Felicity. Remember that? And she was in there. She's 53 years old today. Actress Elizabeth Shue is 60 years old today. Singer Millie Small, My Boy Lollipop, no longer with us. She would have been 77 years old today. And actress, the legendary Carol Lombard, would have been 115 years old. And actress Janet Gaynor, another legendary actress, would have been 117 years old. So those are the birthdays of this week. And if you are celebrating a birthday, we want to wish you a happy birthday. And anytime that you're celebrating a birthday, you want to get it on the air here, just, drop us a line. You can tell me right now today is your birthday, and we'll say happy birthday to you, because we always like talking to you personally. We always like interacting with you personally. And as I always say, a lot of people, they don't want to be bothered with conversation, but still in all, we would appreciate it if you do. But if not, don't worry about it. Now, a lot of you people may be at work right now at the water cooler talking about what happened the night. And if you had your coffee break, maybe that coffee break is over, and we hope that you have taken time to take your coffee break at your computer and watch the show. And after the coffee break was over, you're still at your computer. Now you're multitasking, right? Doing what you do best. Multitasking, you got talent there, kid. All right. Now, for those of you who like to get in touch with me, please do. I really appreciate that. All you have to do is email me or give me a phone call. One or the other, it doesn't matter. All you have to do, I'll give you the email address first. How's that? The email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. And the telephone number, let me tell you something before I go to the telephone number. When you email me, make sure that you spell Allan correctly. It's Allan. because if you spell E-N or I-N or Y-N or anything like that, you'll never get in touch with me. Frank Allan Prod. Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for productions. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. The telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. You may want to get in touch with us for various reasons, such as, I want to know more about the show. How long have you been on the air? I like to see a special guest on the show. I have a group that would like to appear on your show. Or I am a singer and I want to promote my wares and I want to appear on your show. I'm open to suggestions and ideas. All you have to do is just get in touch with me, all right? And you may want to critique the show. I have an idea about this show, or anything like that. Or I don't like the show. I listen to you, I watch you, I don't like it. Listen, you know what? We're thick skinned here. All you have to just is let us know. You can let us know right now, you know, and listen, I'm not going to get angry at you. I'm just going to say, hey, you know what? Maybe we can improve on something, you know, and that's up for you. That's on you. You let us know about that. We really would appreciate that. And it wouldn't hurt us a bit. Okay. Anyway, give me the email address again. Is frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. Again, the telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Again, that's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. We look forward to hearing from you. We talked about the government shutdown and all of these aggravating things that came upon us. We know all about that, right? Okay. You also know that inmate number P01135809, 345/666 Beast Incarnate. You know who he is, right? Well, he was hauled in court. You already know he had his day in court, and he was there for 3 days in a row. And he was there for fraud. And the judge issued him a gag order. You know why? Because the second day, that Tuesday, when he went into court, during lunchtime, he had a photo of Governor Schumer, Chuck Schumer, all right? Chuck Schumer, of course, there was a photo of Chuck Schumer and this judge's clerk, you know, and he got very offended when 345/666 Beast Incarnate posted that photo and stated on that photo, this is Chuck Schumer's girlfriend. I don't know what kind of attention he was getting out of it. I don't know what kind of thrill he was getting out of it. But if you know Chuck Schumer, you know that he's a dedicated husband who has a dedicated wife. He loves his family and his daughters. And, you know, he's just that kind of a person. But, you know, this guy is out for blood for whatever reason. The judge didn't take too kindly to that. So after they got back from lunch hour, when the judge discovered that that was on 345/666 Beast Incarnate, or if you like another number, P01135809, that's his prison number. That's what he's going to be wearing when he goes to prison. When they found out that that was posted on his fake, what do I want to call it? His fake Twitter, right? You know, what did he calls it? Truth Social, Lie Social, whatever you want to call it, right? And he posted that on there. And the judge found out about that, called him into the chambers and told him, take that post down, you know, because he got very offended because that clerk was his staff member, the judge's staff member. And he told him to take it down. And he said, now you can consider this as a gag order. Go back to your seat, shut up and sit down. And of course, like a coward that he is, he did that, you know, and he's a big man outside the courtroom. But when you come into that courtroom, it's a whole big story. And so the judge placed a gag order on him. Now, the news that I got this morning is that he's defying that gag order. And I'm trying to wonder now, what happens now after the judge placed that gag order? Because everybody is saying that now that the judge placed this gag order on him, he broke the glass ceiling for the other judges who didn't place a gag order on him and should place a gag order on him. And now that he defied the judge's gag order, I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen next. Now he told him that if you defy this gag order, there's going to be serious consequences. We don't know what those serious consequences are. Those serious consequences could be, I don't know, a couple of days in jail, or it could be a hefty fine, whatever it is. But he, I understand, defied the gag order. So now we're going to have to see what happens next when they haul him back in there. And then he's going to be spending more time in the courtrooms, and he will be on the campaign trail. He was crying like a baby, crying like whining like a little witch. I did say witch, right? Whining, saying, this is a disgrace to our country. It's not about the country. It's your bed and you lie in it, pal. It's not about, it has nothing to do with the country. Don't drag us in it. It's all yours. All right. And he was saying, I'm stuck here. I'm stuck here. I want to be on the campaign trail. He wasn't stuck there. He wanted to be there. But, there's more to come. The best is yet to come, because there's a lot of places that a lot of courtrooms he's going to be visiting. And of course, we got to talk about Kevin McCarthy. They ousted him, and they're going to have a representative, Patrick McHenry, I understand, is going to fill in that spot until they actually get somebody stable. And in the wings, they have Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan. Which one is better than the other? Tui. But that's where we stand right now. But right now, the House is frozen, so they can't do any business. They can't make any decision without a House Speaker. And it's a long story, and it's a total mess. And the Republicans, man, they're on a terrible road. They're on a terrible road. But it's just fascinating how they can get away with a lot of things that the average person couldn't. And with 345/666, what he does when he makes those threats to lawyers and ARs and other people, jurors, and even ordinary people who worked in government, And with the government shutdown, they dodged a bullet, as I said. So everything is going to be all right until the next date comes up, which will be November 17th. If you're planning on watching some movies, I have some movies for you to watch, to add to your bucket list of movies you want to watch come this weekend, direct from Turner Classic Movies, if you so desire. So I'm gonna get started right away, right now. I have something that goes back to 1951 called Showboat. This is the remake of the original 1930s Showboat. And this stars Katherine Grayson, Howard Keel, and Ava Gardner. That comes on Turner Classic Movies. You can watch that Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And also we have something that's black and white. From 1943, Cabin in the Sky, starring Ethel Waters, Eddie Rochester Anderson, and Lena Horne. That's Turner Classic Movies. You could see that Saturday at 12:15 p.m. Eastern. And here's something else called A Patch of Blue from 1965, Sidney Poitier, Shelley Winters, and Elizabeth Hartman. That's Turner Classic Movies. You check that out on Sunday at 3:45 p.m. Eastern. And all of these movies are great. I hope you like them. These are my picks of the week. You can also go on Turner Classic Movies, scroll through the program guide. You might find other movies that are appealing to you, and you might like them. So, and because I didn't mention them, that doesn't mean I don't like them. That's only because these are my picks of the week. So you may want to go check those out. And they're very good movies to watch. Okay, I'm going to repeat those movies once again, and here we go. We have Showboat with Katherine Grayson and Howard Keel, along with Ava Gardner, and that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Cabin in the Sky with Ethel Waters, Eddie Rochester Anderson and Lena Horne. That's Turner Classic Movie Sunday at 12:15 p.m. Eastern. And Patch of Blue, Sidney Poitier, Shelley Winters, and Elizabeth Hartman. That's Turner Classic Movie Sunday at 3:45 p.m. Eastern. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the show. I enjoyed it immensely being here with you, and I hope that you will meet me back here Thursday night, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talk Back Live. Brian Camp is going to be along with me for sports, with the latest developments in today's sports on Sports Update. Of course, you can catch us back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the Coffee Hour. Brian Camp also will be here with sports, and of course, hope that you will be here too. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful weekend and a great day, and I will catch you all back here soon. You take care of yourself. Have a great one.
You've been watching the Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allen. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Coffee Hour.